Hello and thank you for watching my video. Today I'm doing a video talking about, for me, one of the best features of the Heart of Thorns expansion, and that is the guild halls. I know I haven't put a video up in a while, and that's because I've been taking my time to actually learn about a lot of the things that go on in Heart of Thorns, and I wanted to actually do some research and actually get used to the game and used to the Heart of Thorns and get a really decent amount of knowledge before making any videos, particularly for builds and such, but that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. I wanted to really just enjoy the game, and you know, I haven't focused on putting a lot of videos out because, again, I wanted to make sure that they were right and that things wouldn't change, make a video on a particular build and then they decide to change it, because there have been various changes. So let's talk about guild halls. First of all, this is our guild hall. I am in part of the guild dude, part of the Lost Precipice. We actually went for that. Really enjoyed the claiming of this guild hall, and as you can see here, we've actually moved on and developed quite a lot of the guild hall. So I'm going to be doing this from a perspective of the Lost Precipice. However, the majority of, for example, crafting and some of the stations are all relevant for the Gilded Hollow as well. There are things, for example, jump pads. There has been a lot of discussion about this, and the fact that they are you actually have to turn them on, and they activate the updrafts. So there you go. You go into space, and you go in the glider, and boom, you can go up and glide. So there you go. These are, you can get the updraft again, because I think I went out of it. So here you go. This is what we actually claim. We get this crystal, which I believe is in both guilds. So that's what happens. You claim this, and you know, this is pretty cool. I still am exploring this place and finding new places every single day. You know, the other day I was just wondering, I was like, what's this? Is this is this a vault or is this a jail? It's just so cool, but you can't actually get in there, and that is actually a wall, because one of my guildies who's in charge of putting decorations, you can't actually put anything behind it either, so that's just a placeholder wall. Bear in mind as well that you do have the opportunity to expand your guild hall during this, and before I actually go in, and you can see that is our guild banner up there, the white with the blue and red sort of helmet. There are many different upgrades available for your guild hall. So as you can see here, there's a lot of work that's been going on. You'll see childcopters dotted around the place. That's been decorated. And also we've got a nice little system whereby pumpkins actually mean that a particular area has been claimed by somebody. That is their area. So let's go into the guild section. Then the guild tab has changed dramatically. We actually have the ability to have our guild message come up. You'll notice here it popped up. It didn't actually pop up because I haven't logged out, but when you log back in, it actually pops up with this message, and it comes up. You can change it. So as I said, I'm one of the guild officers. Rankings are kind of different. You can actually, it's pretty much the same. But you've got this guide index. It tells you all about the guides and what each thing does, and different things for different abilities. And we also have these new totals down here. So influence is actually something that we had from before, prior to Heart of Thorns, and this is basically got to be used up. There is no need for influence anymore, so that will eventually be taken out of the game. Residence is a new currency that's used at the workshop. Now this will actually become very prevalent pretty later on in the game. We've actually bought a little bit of a stockpile ready for later. And then we have the most important thing, which is Ethereum, because you need a lot of Ethereum to build things. And then we actually have Favor. Now Favor is also used for building things, and it's actually used for, you actually gain that through doing PvP missions. There is no more reward for actually getting and representing. That's gone. So you can't, these guilds that do 99% guild representation, and we were one of them, no longer applies. The only time you need to represent is when you're doing the guild missions. So you can see here, if I go and represent my own personal guild, I can see guild chats from any of my other guilds. So let's talk about other things that have changed. So we're going to do so you can see there, that's the message that pops up, much like Guild Wars 1 did. Also, just quickly, you actually have a level, and you actually gain experience from building various things in the guild hall. So you've got the roster, we've got missions. I'm going to come back to that, and teams as well. This is the storage. Storage is slightly similar to the guild bank, but it's, you have more items in here. So you can see here you've got decorations, which obviously, things like the furniture that you need to craft and be scribed. These are the deluxe charcopters you can place around. You've got statues, trophies, you've got festival things as well. You've got items for the arena when you unlock the arena. You've got your war chest, which includes things that go in World versus World. And then you've got consumables like the Magic Vine banner, you've got Guild Banquets, and Guild Siege. So that's what you've got in your storage. Obviously, the histories and ranks are still the same. So let's talk about missions. Now, missions are very different. Before, you would have a guild rush, you'd have a guild challenge, you'd have a guild jumping puzzle, and you'd have a guild bounty. Well, now it pretty much is random. It changes bit by bit. Now, some of these you actually have to unlock. The opportunities you actually have to unlock in various buildings. So I'll talk about those when I unlock them. But they change week by week, and it's on a Monday that it actually resets. And you can see here, we actually have a look. We actually have a PvP conquest. You actually do this in the Heart of Thorns. It's a 30-minute time limit. And it's a PvP mission in which guild team members must complete various tasks in the conquest mode, and this is earning 300 personal score. So earn a combined score of 300 or more personal score across all guild team members. So if you have 3 in your party, you would only need to score 100 points each. I would also go on and explain about teams, because teams is very related to PvP. For the first time we did this, I actually didn't understand this when I did this for the very first time. But what you actually have to do is you actually have to create a team for PvP. Now, you can actually have up to 10 teams, and what you do, you put these people in your party or in your team, and then you actually go in and you start the match. And what's cool is it will actually say, normally it will say, for example, Michael the Mighty versus somebody else. Well, when you do it as a team, it will come up with Dude, where is our guild, which is our guild, and it will have Team Maikai underneath with our guild banner logo. And that is really cool if we have 3 people in it. And that gets you a chance to earn rewards for your missions, and you can get some decent rewards. You can actually earn around 3 gold per mission if you get lucky. Same with World versus World Capture. You don't actually have to go into teams for this. However, you do need to be very close to the target area. And this is something that is slightly issues at the moment. There are some slight bugs with the guild challenges, the guild treks, and the guild rushes. So last time we actually had 1 trek for PvE, and then we had a load of different races. Races being the guild rush. So what we've got this week is we've got a challenge, we've got a trek, and we've got a PvE, we've got a race. And you can actually change these. You can go for, if you prefer PvE, if you prefer PvP, World versus World, and it actually takes effect the next week. We go for no preference because we want that extra favour. You do have a weekly favour cap, so you can't keep doing all these over and over again to gain more favour. They are limited. So, for example, the World vs. World, capture 1 World vs. World camp in the Borderlands or EB within 15 minutes, and at least 3 guild members must participate in the assault to complete the mission. Really easy. It's recommended 5. You can do it with 3, and as long as you go in, you'll get a amount of favour and you'll get some guild rewards. If we look at the challenge, this is PvE. We get an instant mission in which members work together to overcome various tasks involving protecting NPCs, objects, defeating hostile NPCs, destroying objects in rapid succession, or surviving for a set amount of time. And this is pretty interesting. These are some different missions that are coming on. And again, if you increase it, you can actually increase your guild level. You unlock more and more missions. So you see here, we've got a guild race, PvP stronghold. So there's a nice bit of variation, and you can go and do all of them, but you can also help out. And so, for example, you can help out another person if you're doing PvP, join their team, and you help them get credit. I will say with some of the issues we've had is, for example, PvE, you had to be at a certain point, and a couple of people were just too far away, even though it was within, you were within each other very, very close. You have to be really close to actually get credit for them, so be aware of that. So that's some of the stuff that's going on regarding some of the missions. Let's actually have a look at some of the different things that are actually taking place in the guild hall. Now, we get 6 different buildings that we can actually build. We start off, because our guild was pretty established, a lot of this stuff was already in here. So you have here, this is your guild treasurer. So you go into this guy here. I will state that some of this is a little bit laggy. Now, all of this is used for upgrades that are upcoming. So that's why you'll see here, for example, If you want to increase the mine, you need 50 linseed oil, and we've only got 5. So that you can see here, let's take the kegs. You can see here we need 80 kegs, and they're for all the guild enhancements, and that's a lot to do with the tavern. So we need a lot of kegs for that. So that's just pretty cool, the treasury. Actually, the way they've done it, you can actually see what they're used for, and you don't actually have to max them out if you don't need them all at once. Let's look at the merchants we have. We have a guild bank here, we have a merchant, and we have a decoration trader. That's generally for the Heart of Thorns, although you can, obviously, you get the pumpkins. So I think for special decorations like Winter's Day, they will actually be pretty useful. You can see we've got decorations dotted around. These are decorations we've put up. You can actually turn them off, and the eyes stop glowing, and it stops smoking. And you can turn them back on again. I actually don't have preference to ability to put stuff down right now. I am only the PvP commander for this guild, so I actually deal with the arena, which hasn't quite been built. So let's look at the first thing we actually want to build. That's the tavern. Now, the tavern actually gives you several different upgrades. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you through each one and talk about why they're so important. So we go into the upgrade section here. You can see we get the tavern. This is upgrades, temporary structure. I will also say, one of the interesting things is that the actual guild hall keeps updating. Even though you haven't increased anything or bought anything, it will still be doing small changes. So you can see here, we've actually got a big keg with some barrels. We've got this wine rack. What actually happened, a guy was standing right here, and it said, okay, there's a guild update. So he logged out, logged back in again, and suddenly this was a big lot of rubble was here. Okay, 5 minutes went by. Oh, and suddenly there's a new map. So he logged out, went back in again, and suddenly this appeared with all the rubble cleared up. And these small little changes are updating throughout, the life of your guild hall. So let's talk about the tavern. The tavern's for all the banners, but not only that, it actually manages to reduce your waypoint costs. It actually gives you musical themes in the background, guild enhancement for XP or karma, and you also get more waypoint discounts, more guild hall swiftness. So that... It depends. It's not really relevant for us right now, so we're not really going for a lot of the stuff in the tavern. You can see here we actually have the scribing station done, so we can do... I am actually training to be a scribe, so you can see here I am level 51 in the scribe. You can see all the different items that we've got here. You do need some of these. I think I have to take these out to actually use them, so for some reason I can't craft right now, which is kind of strange, so I will have to get access to that. I think that's slightly an issue, but I'm not too sure on that. But then we get the workshop. Now the workshop, again, it's something that we're going to be doing a lot later down the line, and I'll explain why. Now, obviously, you get access to the scribe, which is pretty decent, but you actually get opportunity to get ore nodes. Now, for those of you who look at people's home instances, some of the people have got really interesting nodes for logs, mining materials, or sort of plants. And this is what the workshop creates. You'll see here it gets the opportunity to increase and craft and actually salvage from a lot of different nodes. That's pretty much what this whole thing is about. The workshop is about the salvaging and the craft, sort of the harvesting of various nodes. So that's why the workshop's pretty decent. Let's go and actually have a look. We have a couple of things over here. We have the market, and we also have the war room with the arena just down below. So we'll take them one by one. The market's interesting because the market actually gains access to the decoration crafting, which you need, but it also gives you a mission slot for PvE, which is what we went for. You get a guild trader who actually trades different items. We haven't got for that yet. You can see here, this is from our big guild bank that we actually had prior to the launch of Heart of Thorns, but you'll get these different traders, decorations, merchants, armory. You can even get miniatures with your character, with your logo on. But yes, there are, apart from the decorations, we're not too sure if we actually want to go for the guild trader yet. One thing I will say that's disappointing, I haven't been able to find anything that gets us a Mystic Forge or a Black Lion trader yet, and I desperately would love to get a Black Lion trader. If you want to have a look at the merchant, this is what for decorations. To buy a basic table costs you 2 crystalline ore and some 50 silver, so you can get all of those, a bookshelf, a basket, and these can be used for your home instance. So then we move on to the war room. Again, the war room's been upgrading slowly. You can see it's got all the scaffolding there. A couple of maps have come in. So you've got the war room, and that is all about the world versus world. Now, if we actually have a look, you can see here we get the world versus world mission slot, but you can claim camps, and you know we need another 80 rune of holding for that. And you can also get increased. For example, when you do claim a camp, you can get all these bonuses and upgrades. You know, you can get a bonus, a personal enhancement at the tavern that increases the rate of world versus world XP. So that could be really useful for your guild. You've got the ability to describe an emergency waypoint. That's going to be fantastic. In the middle of nowhere, you can boom. That's a waypoint that you can all your server can use. Really, really cool. So this is all about world versus world. I'm not going to go into too much detail for it because I'm not really a big world versus worlder, and you pretty much can look at it yourself. But let's go down to the arena. Now we've unlocked the arena tier 1, and you can see as I glide down, the arena's down here. That's the arena looking like that. Obviously, when you can need it to get upgraded to tier 2 for you able to actually fight in it. So, so you see we drop down and we'll come and speak to this guy. I love this guy. One of the other things is the NPCs all keep just random conversations to you, and they are pretty funny, and some of them are really interesting, and this is what I really love about the guild hall as well, just the ability that they're constantly talking to you. So again, you got the PvP slots. You can also increase the rate at which PvP reward treks increase, so we need a lot of empty kegs for that. And then you've got the arena restoration, so that actually enables battle between red and blue. And then the rest are all brawling obstacles. You get arena outside ring, brawling obstacles, a lot of brawling obstacles. Basically, I can put down obstacles in the arena to stop, to help out people actually fighting in there and make it more interesting. So you've seen the war room, you've seen the market, you've seen the arena, you've seen the workshop and the tavern. Let's go to the most important one. The mine. Now, the mine is a big factor in actually how much Ethereum you can actually make. So let's look at the upgrades for the mine. Now, we've actually done quite a lot of upgrades so far. We've increased the capacity, the mining rate twice, the capacity twice, and we're just working on expanding the mine a bit more. Obviously, you can see there's a vial of linseed oil is pretty important for this, and so we're actually working our way to getting this right now. But you can see here, this is how you actually generate Ethereum. You can only generate it through this mine, and by increasing the mine, particularly the mining rate, you can make it quicker. So currently, it's going at 40 seconds. Every 40 seconds, we gain 1 Ethereum. You start off every 60 seconds. Mining rate 1 takes it down to 50 seconds. Mining rate 2 takes it down to 40 seconds. Mining rate 3 will probably take it down to 30 seconds. And then you've got mining rate 4, which will probably increase it again. So you can see here it produces Ethereum at a faster rate. And so you can build it up and up and up and up. Obviously, you need a pretty substantial guild level by that time. Let's also have a look at one of the other things. You can see here we actually have a guide to the left of us. Now, if you've got influence, you can actually use influence for actually boosting production. So what we're going to do, we're going to buy, we've only got 1,000 here we can buy. That actually converts 1,000 influence to 10 minutes of boosted Ethereum production. So what does that do? Well, we've just bought Ethereum, so it's an extra 10 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to go speak to the mine proprietor. So you can see here, what I want to show you is what happens when the Ethereum ticks down to 1 and then clicks over. Remember last time it was for every 40 seconds that it was actually giving us an Ethereum. Well, look how much we get now. It's 38. So we get 38 Ethereum. So that's shaved off 2 seconds per, 2 seconds per Ethereum, and that's for a 10-minute period. Obviously, we had hundreds of thousands of the improvement to speed, and so we actually used a lot of that to boost up and get our access to the mine a lot quicker. Now we're running out of influence, we won't be able to use it as much. So that is the mine, and this is very important because it's going to affect how quickly you can use and buy or actually generate Ethereum and actually gain access to a lot of other different buildings. So you can see here, this is the mine. Again, this is constantly sort of, it's updating, and it actually goes a lot further back because we have actually, one of our players actually, Guildies actually managed to look through the wall, and it actually goes down below as well. So you can see below, here we go, this is more of the mine. and this is all here. So the mine actually expands, and this is what's great about that guild halls. They're constantly evolving, and they're constantly updating, and for me, it's a phenomenal place. I love it because I've got my bank and merchant right here, so instead of going to Lion's Arch now, or PvP, I come to my guild hall, and I will go to my guild hall and get a load of stuff. You can see here we've got one final merchant. So this is again something talking about Guildhall. This is the Guild Initiative registration. We actually have a repair anvil. That was already bought. That was cost 20 gold. We've got a Guild stash. General merchant. We've got a Guildhall obtained. Guild portal is a little bit further off. We can actually gain a Guild portal. It's only 3,000 Ethereum. But it's not really something that we want to build right now. It's not in our priorities. Getting further exploration. This is what I mentioned earlier. This is open paths to the unexplored reaches of your guild hall. So there are places of your guild hall right now that are unexplored, and you actually have to get to level 40 for your guild hall. We've increased the tab. We've got the tavern, we've got the guild hall, but you have to get to level 40, and remember, we're only at level like 16 right now. You need 5,000 Ethereum. Our mine can only hold 3,000, so we definitely need to upgrade that by a lot. So that is, in the long term, it's something that is in a long way off. And I also will have to say as well, it's not just money that can actually buy resources, and I'll explain why. There's a lot of account-bound stuff that you need to work on. A lot of charged quartz is required, and so you really have to actually work at a lot of things. The bigger guilds will obviously get things a lot quicker, but the smaller guilds can actually get in stuff as well. So you can see here, I just wanted to show you guys something. This is me, and this is my little area. This is where I'm actually based. I wanted something just out the way. So this is my little instance. You can see here, this is what I've got. I've got a statue, I've got the vines and some pumpkins. And not only that, we're actually working on starting off having a jumping puzzle somewhere around here. And you can see here, we've actually got this flagpole that we put down. And it's a nice little jumping puzzle that you can just jump on and hop across. You can actually jump from pillar to pillar. And this is something we've been trialing out. I will say that there are a few slight issues with some of the placement right now, but overall it's really, really good. I love the Guildhall feature right now. For me, this is miles better than what Guild Wars 1 had. It is a huge change to the game. It's something that really should have been in at launch, but what they've brought in is phenomenal. It is a brilliant... sorry, I'm doing this one-handed here. It is a brilliant feature to Guild Wars 2. It really enhances it. I'm going to forget that. For me, I love the Guild Hall. I think it's phenomenal. I think that the features that it has, the ability to unlock and grow your Guild Hall, and I hope that they keep adding things to the Guild Hall as well. It's just brilliant. This map is beautiful. It's massive. There's so much that you can do in this guild hall. I will say it's like a couple of disappointing things. You can't put stuff underwater if you're swimming. So you can put stuff underwater if you're standing on land, but you can't put it down if you're underwater. A little bit irritating, but that's a small thing. But getting the arena is going to be pretty cool, and doing the guild missions I find really, really fun, and the fact that you can unlock new ones, and you can actually have fun in the arena. Look at this. This is like going to be much better when you get it. Get a load of your guildies that can spectate and watch and standing up. It's going to be great for machinima. Oh, it's going to be really, really good. I do think the arena may be a bit tad too small. If you look at the point, if you compare it to PvP, for example, I think it's probably the same as the courtyard, point that you have on the Legacy of Fourfire map. Maybe a tad bigger. But if you go down here, you can imagine if I'm in PvP, it's slightly bigger than probably just a tad bigger than the point on the Legacy of the Fourfire map, the center point. So you can, if you have obstacles, you can defend yourself, and it will be great for 1v1s. That obviously comes with unlocking things. So overall, for me, Guild Halls in Guild Wars 2 is one of the best features in the Heart of Thorns expansion. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. I'm in a decent guild. I'm in a decent sized guild. You can see here I'm on my nice new Revenant. If we look at my guild, we've got over, if we actually go look at the roster, You know, we've got over 300 members, and it's a really decent guild. If you want to join, leave me a message below, and I'd happily invite you to our guild. You know, we do guild missions. You know, a lot of the PvE stuff takes place on a weekend, on a Saturday and a Sunday. And so you actually get the opportunity to party up with a lot of other people. It's really organised. And PvP missions, I'm the one that helps organise those. So if you want to do PvP stuff, come and talk to me in the guild, and I will happily PvP with you. And then we have a World versus World Commander as well. So that is the guild halls in Guild Wars 2. For those of you who have had or got smaller guilds, I'd love to hear what your opinions are, guild halls. This is opinion coming from a guy that is heavily involved with a fairly large guild in GW2. I want to know what it's like from a smaller guild. Well, you know, what's your opinions? You know, I like this. I've not been to the Gilded Hollow yet. I have had a lot of feedback saying, you know, a lot of people, it's cool, but it's a little bit too gold, and they like the fact you can glide here, and you know, it's nice and sunny, and the scene's just beautiful. I may, for my own personal guild, actually get the Gilded Hollow. But let me know what your thoughts are on this, guys. If you're happy with the way that ArenaNet have developed guild halls in Guild Wars 2, please leave the comments in the section below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.